Guys, welcome. What is good? How are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all doing very well. I don't know what I'm going to talk about today because I wanted to talk about the future, kind of continuing on from the conversations that we were having about AI, kind of what I think the future is going to be for humanity, and it's going to be good. AI and robotics are going to usher in an age of abundance for humanity. What does that mean? Well, you're not going to have a job anymore. Seriously, you're not going to have a job anymore. And I'll even do you one further and say that in the future, you're not even going to need to have money. So let's talk about the future, or not. No, we'll definitely talk about the future. Oh, hey, Chonku, she's good. And I thought we would play around, make some sounds with Ableton while I casually talk about the future and perhaps some other things. By the way, I generated some more AI art. And it was really funny because I was like thinking about, so I want to show you my AI generated art of like Ableton stuff. I was thinking about it, and I was like, well, a lot of my art has like a desk with a computer with Ableton on it and like studio monitor speakers and a MIDI controller, because it's kind of like when I'm doing that with my art, I'm like symbolizing kind of like who I am, like what I care about, you know? And I was like, what if I had AI? I was like, because I've never asked it this. I was like, I wonder like what it would generate if I was just like generate a computer and a desk with Ableton, you know? And so I asked this to like many different AI generators, and all I said, so we'll just do this before we get into the future and all the other stuff. So just go with me. I'm just gonna be flowing around. We're gonna have fun. We'll get to everything. Don't you worry. So I was like, I thought about asking it like generate an image of like a music producer setup in the future. And then I was like, you know what? No. Let's let AI surprise me, and let's just do a very basic prompt. And what I like to do is I like to ask the same prompt to like multiple different AIs. And so literally to get these, I wanted to be very simple because I wanted to know what it would choose to include. So all I said was generate an image of a computer running Ableton Live on a desk. Or I might have said generate an image of a computer on a desk running Ableton Live. Now, maybe you would think it would just be like desk, computer, Ableton Live. And these are the results we got. So let's take a look, folks. So first of all, there's a computer. Look how it has the Apple logo there. Okay, look how it's got those yellow KRK speakers, which I actually have a couple of those. And then look at this crazy, look at the Ableton. Look at how like weird it is, right? Now it's weird to me, like looking at like how weird it does this Ableton. So obviously it was like generating all of these things of like what Ableton Live is. What's interesting when I saw it all goofy like this, first of all, I like that. I like looking at the imperfections that it generates because it's like not spooky, not unusual. Well, it is unusual and kind of spooky, but I don't know. I like it because it's weird, right? So like what was interesting to me, and this is a theme we see here, like the Ableton doesn't really look quite Ableton. Like, okay, it looks similar. And then this one kind of nailed it pretty quick. But what are these little, like, oh, you need to zoom in. Like, what are these little, like, picture icons? Yo, mate, the AI was like forecasting into the future. How yous not know that wasn't like, like Ableton Live 16, and it was like using its like crazy mind to see into the future or some shit. What you think about that? But it's interesting because I'm only doing that because, like, having a pug, he, like, snorts stuff, like, a lot, and I don't want the fluid to get on the TV or the computer. He's good, Chungu. He's good. He wants food. He wants food like always. Merlin, I'm not going to stop the recording to give you kiwis. You got to wait till I'm done, okay? So chew on your little bony over there, and, please don't blow any pug snorts on the computer. Oh, good boy, Chunky. Everyone likes you. Some people are like, I only tune in for that doggy. He's so damn cutie. So what I thought was interesting is this like weird Ableton thing it did. Like, why wouldn't the AI just be like, what's like what an actual like scene of Ableton looks like and just like farts that on there, right? You know what I mean? But the fact that it like created it on its own and did all this like gobbledygook, I actually like that. I actually like it. Now, it generated a MIDI controller, which looks just like a Novation or a Kai MIDI controller. That's why I wanted it to make it like very simple. That's why I wanted it to be like very simple, generate a computer on a desk running Ableton Live because I wanted to know what else it would include. I thought for some reason that if you said that, it would just give you desk, computer, Ableton Live, and like it might be in a room. But like, take a look. Like, it somehow put these KRK speakers. Look how this one's got this like plate and this one doesn't. Look at how it decided to, it like knew that there would be like headphones. We would have like this, look at how like goofy this thing looks, and whatever this is, probably like a remote. And it like just created a MIDI controller that like, you know what I mean? And it's just like interesting to see this, especially because I make art. Like, look at how this monitor has this like red thing here, so there's like a red light, and this is the reflection, and look at how the edges are blurred, which is something you would do. Like, it just generated these things. I think this would be like either curtains or like maybe some sort of like panel, whatever these things are. Maybe those are just things on the desk. Like, it's just very interesting. And then I asked another one, and immediately I was like, nice room. Like, I like the lights. I like that you decided that this person would have like all these different like photos here. Again, the KRK speakers. You know, this I guess is like maybe the audio interface. And then I really liked this. I was like, this is like an interesting little like keyboard control panel, like whatever this stuff is. It's really weird because like it almost like makes me think about the art that I make. And like when I make art and stuff, and I make things that are like this, like I'm trying to like make things that would exist in some like alternate place, right? And like what the hell is this like keyboard thing? Like, that gives me an idea. I like that. I like that there's various things, like this room, it looks very here terrestrial. It looks like it would be on this planet. whatever these weird photos are. It looks like they would be on this planet, but kind of not, because like, what the hell are these things? You know, why does the keyboard look this way? And you might be like, oh, it's because it's AI and it's doing a bad job. It's like, no, it's actually extra interesting to me. Like, I like these imperfections because maybe I'm just a weirdo, I guess. Like, where is this place? It looks so familiar, but it's also not if you look at it. And I almost feel like that's what I'm like doing with my own art. And like, I'm not trying to be, you know, like, so anyways, let's keep looking. So I thought this one was pretty cool too. And this one's got like a nice warm vibe. And look, it's got like music, like sheet music. It decided on its own to add like an acoustic guitar, and it's got it in like the rack up here, and these little goofy things. It looks like really nice and warm, and this doesn't really look too much like Ableton. Interesting how like they always have like, you know, it looks kind of like a Mac computer. But that was pretty cool. And this one looks very unique and like more true to Ableton, I would say. I did a better job doing this. It looks more, I think I did this on Grok on, you know, Twitter or X's AI. It's a very cozy feel, you know, a little like window here, you know, maybe it's cold outside and you're all warm and toasty in your thing, and you know, it's just crazy. Like, you know, you see this lamp and everything. Like, you would think like there would be like weird shit going on with the lamp, and it's just crazy that it generates this in seconds. Like, you can see this wall back here with this nice like cascading light, and you can see all this like texture in the wall. So it's like a stucco-y wall, or you know what I mean, like those walls that are very like bumpy or whatever, you know. It even has this thing under the desk with these things that I guess you would presumably like plug a headphones thing into. It's just really interesting. And then of course I couldn't stop myself, and I generated some other art. I think I was like generate an image of like two angel beings made out of energy, and I thought this was like amazing. I love how they're like meditating, you know. They're like, we know the secrets of the universe. We exist in the non-physical dimensions. Even though we is in the non-physical dimensions, we still got an English accent, or a poorly bad one done by some bloke from the USA or some shit. Maybe stop doing it. I just don't know. And then I was like, make it more like alien-y or something. Or maybe I just asked a different AI. And this was interesting. Like, it's just like, I don't know. It's just pretty crazy. So should we talk about the future? Let's talk about the future. Perhaps we should. But let's put on some relaxing things right now. Let's drop in analog. Let's change oscillator 1 to noise. Let's bring down the filter. Let's make a clip. Let's make that clip rather long. Get one big long note, doesn't matter which one, because it's white noise. Legato. Click play. Was you be gotta say? Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Let's put on a phaser. I want to know what the phaser does to make this sound even better. Let's go. Too intense. I like to not put it on a synced rate. I like to put it on hertz. And then I like to lower dim hertz. Now let's turn it off. Let's bypass it and see how it changes the sound. Then let's put it back. Let's take the dry wet, which is 100% wet. Put it down to 0% dry, which basically is the same thing as doing this. It's like bypassing it. And then like slowly bring it up till we like it. Maybe we bring it up too high. Then we bring it down and you sort of like do like a this and then you find the thing that you like. So let's do that. Too much. I like that. Now let's bypass it. This sounds good. This sounds maybe just a little bit better. I play with the center of this. Sometimes just a little bit. Let's do a convolution reverb. I think it's the Pro that we like. It takes a while to load. I think it's like a very high CPU load. Ooh. Turns out I don't want that. Well, actually, no, I think this is actually what Convolution Reverb Pro looks like now. I was like, oh, I did the wrong one, but I'm like, no, I think like it changed the way it looked. Bypass. Notice how the reverb gives it a 3D space. I love that. Play with the dry wet. Oh my god, man. I love that. Let's turn off the phaser flanger, see what it sounds like. Not too bad, but almost can't tell. But that's fine. Somebody told me, well, actually nobody told me. I read in an article about sound design. I read this article about sound design. Hey, Chonkush. When he stares at me intently like that, he's like, give me some kibis. You need to give me some kibis. Chonky, I'm not gonna stop recording to give you kibis. I'm gonna give you kibis when we're done, Chonky. So you just, Chonky. Chonky, see, he just... Chonky, sit. I have to do that because, like, he's constantly, like, out of his nose. So, and where was I? Chonky, give me 30 minutes, okay? It's not even past your dinner time. He's always hungry, guys. He's always hungry. Pugs are very hungry little cute doggies. It's okay, Chunky. We'll get there. Just give me a second. Keep acting cute and sweet for the people out there, okay? We gotta finish the video here. So let's talk about the future. Or in American English, let's talk about the future. Well, as I was saying, I always kind of... You guys know that I like cryptocurrency. I like Bitcoin. I like a lot of different cryptos. The reason why I started paying attention and liking it back in 2017, and I'm not saying that because that was 2 bull markets ago, so I didn't even get in 2017. I didn't even know that people made money with crypto. I had known crypto existed, like, I knew it existed many years prior to that, but like I just didn't really care too much, didn't really care to learn. But I was watching a video on YouTube in 2017 by Cold Fusion. The guy still makes videos and they're great. And this wasn't even really a crypto video, although like he does have some videos on blockchain technology. But the video was actually called "Who Owns the Money?" or "Who Makes the Money?" I think it was like who really controls our money, or who really owns the money. I think something of that nature. I can't remember, but like if you type Cold Fusion, "Who owns our money?" it's gonna pop up. It probably has multiple million views by now, maybe like lots. And to be honest with you, the video didn't even really talk about crypto. I think like at the end it was like, well, what's a possible solution to this screwed up fiat currency system? And it was like, you might want to take a look at like blockchain and like Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. And it made me excited because I've been for a very long time, and I mean like over 10 years, I have been trying to vision the future and to envision a future that is very different from what we've ever known. A future where humanity can truly be a human being. You should be able to be. You should be able to be being. Which means you do as much as you want. You do as little as you want. You're completely free. There is nothing expected of thee. And at the same time, you must be open to infinity. You know what I'd be saying, mate? So, I knew a lot of things had to change. A lot of things had to change. I knew a lot of things needed to change. What do you think might need to change in order for us, as a humanity, as a population of human beings, to truly be free? What do you think? Tell it to me. It's good ideas. Good ideas. You can also write them in the comments if you want. I'm also trying this thing where I've noticed whenever I really care about what I'm talking about, something changes in me and I begin talking much more slowly, almost as if I'm not truly talking with my ego mind, my thinking mind, my mental mind, the thing we all use. Maybe like I'm connecting more with my higher self when I'm talking. But in any event, I knew that this future world, this new earth that we would be moving to, I knew that there had to be some sort of way in the beginning, in the earlier day, I used to think that like the financial system needed to collapse, that we needed it to collapse in order to move forward. But what I've come to realize is that we don't actually need something to completely collapse or go away or change to suit us, because those old structures, they were never designed to suit the common man anyway. In fact, you could say they're created to do quite the opposite. Benefit a few, screw everyone else. So I quickly learned, not learned necessarily, it quickly became apparent to me that it wasn't about making the old corrupt system serve humanity, but that it would be better and much more sustainable to build our own system. And in so doing, it would make the old system obsolete. We would just ignore it. Maybe it would still run. Who knows? Who cares? So when I really learned about like how screwed up that was, I was like, well, thanks for educating me on it, because I already knew. Now I actually have the receipts. But so I got really interested in that, because you could be all futuristic and in the new world, but if you were still being enslaved by this debt-based monetary system where money is just printed and currency is debased every year, you can't have that. So that's what sort of got me on like the Bitcoin and crypto sort of a thing. You know, with Bitcoin, there's a finite supply, so there will never ever be more than 21 million Bitcoin. Already 19.8 have already been released and in circulation. And so I was like, okay, that's really ringing my bell. So obviously consciousness is expanding. It's been expanding. We are already in the future of what consciousness is. You know, this unity consciousness, 5D consciousness, Christ consciousness. You know, there's different names for it, but it's the consciousness that humanity will be occupying. And it's a state of consciousness that you can experience right now. A lot of people are already experiencing this, so it's not even in the future. It's present in the right now. It's present in the now. Be here now. The power of now. You know? And I make contact with that place every day, so I know it's real, I know it exists, and I make contact with it every single day when I meditate. I haven't been able to make contact with that place, like, all day long, which is ultimately the only goal I have in my life. Because once you make contact with it, it's literally the greatest thing in the world. And you go to a place that is beyond the mind, you know, and it's a real wonderful, beautiful place. And eventually that's where all of humanity will be. We've been living in the mind, but this state of consciousness is living from the heart. Jesus, Chunky, can you please get situated here? Can you... So, have you guys done any meditating yet? If you want, I can teach you how I meditate. In fact, I've just reached my 9-year anniversary with meditating. I started meditating at the end of 2015. And I don't know if I've ever shared with you about how I started meditating and what happened. And I think you can have a similar experience with it if you want to. A lot of times you just have to want to have the experience, and then you will. And if you have tried meditating before and you wrote it off, just keep an open mind. Not everyone has to meditate. Some people can access this space of awareness, space of consciousness, just being out in nature, you know? Or maybe it just happens to you randomly and you notice that it was like a unique experience. But I can definitely share a little bit about that. So I actually started listening to the Joe Rogan Experience like back in the early 2010s when it was pretty much starting. And back then, he didn't have a whole lot of guests on like he does today. He had a lot of his same friends, and one of them was this comedian called Duncan Trussell. And this Duncan Trussell guy was like my favorite guest. He was like, he would talk about all of this spiritual stuff. And it all resonated with me so much. And so I started listening to his podcast, the Duncan Trussell Family Hour. I don't listen to it anymore. I don't know. Anyways, he had a lot of like Buddhist people on, a lot of interesting folks. And I started hearing a lot about meditation, and I was like, yeah, I've always heard that it's like a good thing to do, but I never really tried it. It's like one of those things where, you know, you kind of like, you know, it's a good thing, but you don't do it. And so like one night I was like, well, maybe we should like try this thing. And I ended up sitting in my bed, and I just like breathed. I was sitting like Indian style, of course. I started breathing, and I tried not to think thoughts. And then all of a sudden, I had about 10 to 15 seconds of like no thought. And it wasn't that there was just like no thought, but something else was there. And I don't mean like something else was there like some like alien or something, but meaning like clearly something else was happening. And it felt somewhat exhilarating. Like, oh my God, did I just go beyond the mind? And it was like, it was so amazing. And all I wanted to do was make contact with that place. Because in so doing, and it was hard to get there, now I can get there every day. But it was like, you can have freedom from your mind. It's like your mind creates all of the problems. So the future. Well, we're all moving towards that place. We're breaking free from the mind. Consciousness is expanding as it's been for a very long time. The financial system is changing. You know, you can put your dollars, you can put your fiat currency into Bitcoin, which is a finite supply. At some point, it will run out. They're always creating more dollars, more other currencies that get printed by the central banks of that country, which debases the currency. So we've created our own decentralized financial system to exchange value, to opt out of the current system. And I knew that that had to change. I also knew that, let's face it, in order to truly be free, you shouldn't have to be forced to do something all day long that you don't like. Some people like their jobs. I'd say 98% of people don't. They only do it because you need money. What if you didn't need money? What if all of the jobs were replaced with AI, robotics that had AI in it? What if we lived in a world where there was no need to have a job? And then to take that one step further, what if you didn't even need to have money? You could if you wanted to, but what if you didn't even need it? What about that? He's getting all antsy like this because he wants food. If I started this video after he had eaten his dinner, he'd be just like sleeping. So yeah, the craziest thing about AI is that it's been actually taking the place of blue collar jobs. Or excuse me, sorry. Chongi. Can you just like occupy yourself for 15 minutes and then I'll feed you? So it is my thought that very soon, in fact, it's the very end of 2024 right now, not the very end, but it's my thought that because we're about to cross into 2025, I think that by 2030 we're gonna reach an economic singularity. Like, I follow economics and stuff because they move Bitcoin, crypto, stocks, financial markets, macro, does that, macroeconomics, macro moves markets. So I follow all that stuff, pay attention to that stuff, because, you know, when you really know the old system and how screwed up it is, it then like allows you to ask questions and to imagine, well, what would the good thing be? You know, and so that's why I love Bitcoin cryptocurrency, because it's a way to opt out. Now, when we talk about jobs, it's the white collar, the corporate jobs that have been getting impacted the most by AI, and that's only going to accelerate. The crazy thing is that like if I was someone who was like, you know, in the process of like graduating high school, and they were like, yo, what's the way to like ensure that I can like make money so I can be independent, live on my own, I would be like, well, it ain't doing the corporate job bullshit. Not like you would want to sit in a damn cubicle anyway. All like entry-level analyst jobs, if they're not already being, you know, written away by AI, they will eventually, and you wouldn't want to do one of those anyway. And like that's only going to accelerate. So it would be like doing a blue-collar job, like being an HVAC, being a plumber, an electrician, because AI can't do that. But then I was like watching all of the humanoid robots. There's like 10 of them that are being built. Tesla is building its Optimus robot, and it's like catching balls with one hand. It's folding t-shirts, so it's displaying very fine detail. They're using AI to train it. I was like, oh my god, like I totally envision a future where like I need a plumber, and like an autonomously driven vehicle pulls up, it stops outside my house, a robot walks out, it rings the doorbell, and it's seen millions of hours of like all the things that would happen in plumbing. But it wouldn't just see videos of it. It would see AI generated videos of everything and anything. And like, you know that's going to happen eventually. So it's eventually going to take everything. And that's a good thing. Because yes, I know there's going to be people who will defend their jobs and say, we need jobs. No, you don't. When you say that, what you're really saying is, I need to make money. I need to pay the bills. Yes. But what if they created money to enslave us? So you're not actually defending your love for your job. What you're really saying is like, I don't want to be in a position where I won't have money to like, you know, sustain myself and my family. But what if you didn't need to have a job? What if AI and robotics ushered in a technological renaissance for all of humanity? Apparently, once a civilization gets technologically advanced enough, it's then able to usher in an age of abundance for everyone, where all of your basic needs are met. What would that look like? I don't know about you, but I think that like people should be able to just do and be whoever they want to be. I don't think they should be doing things that they hate to do all day long to barely afford to live. That's how things have been. But I think that things can change. And so I really love AI and robotics because I know that's what it's going to do eventually. And apparently it'll happen by 2030. Maybe, maybe not. So that's pretty interesting. People should be free to just be and be whoever they want to be. Whenever you say, or anyone says, well, this is how it's been, and if I had to dig ditches in the mud, well, then you should too. Well, I say, you know what, man? That's just your imagination not being able to imagine what it might be if the society was different. And the people that created this society didn't give a shit for us, didn't give a shit for humanity. They wanted something in place to keep us working, to keep us enslaved, to keep us controlled. So I would never give excuses for the old world. Well, that's just the way that it's always been, man. You know, like, I'm not going to have that conversation. I've always been visioning the future because I truly feel that I come from the future, and I believe you all come from the future as well, if you want to. If you're watching me, that means maybe there's a reason why you're watching all of this. And frankly, I've been sick of the way things have been going back well over 10 years. I was like, this is like invisible slavery, you know? And, you know, you can have people sitting around like, ha ha ha, this person's talking about jobs going away. Well, they don't know the true value of $1, I must say. You know, like, oh, good for you. You accumulated a lot of, like, money. Congratulations. You probably wasted your life and you're miserable. The thing is I'm not trying to be callous or brash here, but these are just my opinions, okay? And the fact of the matter is that I know the future is going to be amazing. The future is going to be here right now and very soon. I don't think anyone should ever have to do anything that they don't want to do because they need some fake made-up thing to be able to afford a roof over their head. Clothing, water, food. That should just be basic for everyone. And it's going to be happening, and it's going to be happening soon. And I would just say be excited because we're going there. We're already there, really. So what are you giving your focus to? What do you want for you? Stepping out of the boundaries, stepping out of the confines of your mind. Doesn't matter what was once before, what it is now today. It's like to believe that this new future reality is here and it's on its way and it's here. The age of Aquarius. The age of Aquarius. We're here. And it's going to start happening very fast, especially as we enter into 2025. The outer planets, which stay in the sign that they're in. Oh, shit. The little remote fell behind the couch. It's gonna be hard to get. Or not, I don't know. So we've got Pluto, which only changes signs every 16 to 20 years. It's shifted out of Capricorn, which it's been in since 2008. It shifted into Aquarius, which it did at the end of November. Neptune is the next longest planet. It's been in Pisces since 2011. It shifts out of Pisces and into Aries next year. Saturn is also moving into Aries out of Pisces. Uranus is moving out of Taurus and into Gemini. And so the outer planets are shifting from being in slow earth and water signs into fast-moving air and fire signs. So like we're really getting ready to like catapult and rocket away to a beautiful, amazing future, I must say. So hey, hope you're all doing good. Hope you enjoyed this.
You're stinky, Chunky. You're stinky. Chunky, why are you so stinky? What are you doing, Chunky? Why are you so stinky, Chunky? Why are you so stinky, Chunky? Why are you so stinky, Chunky? What you trying to do, Chunky? Chunky's getting crazy. He want his kiwi. He want his kiwi.
All right, guys. Thank you. That was amazing.
Give me paw. Give me paw. Paw. Don't bite my hand, Chunky. Give me paw. 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 Give me paw. 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 Chunky paw. Good boy.